Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are having a good day. I just came to give you a few words of understanding and wisdom and hope that they can help you in your everyday life. I am who I am. I am Sydney. I am not a slave. I am not horrid. I am not horrible. I am lovely. I am perfection. I am the balance, and so in perfection, I am balanced. I am not just the good and the good side continually and the lights. I am also the darkness. I am like a yin yang. But the point of a yin yang is it is perfect in stature, fixed in place, and it will never one side overpower the other. If the little light within the dark side of a yin yang went to the light, it would be blinded because it would be like, oh, my eyes. It is the light in the darkness. And the little darkness in the yin yang, if it went over into the dark, it would not be able to no longer see. It would be lost within itself. The same as the little white dot. I am not perplexed by racial stories. I am not division, nor do I divide unnecessarily outside of preferences and survival purposes. My preferences shouldn't be blindly hating somebody because I am peace and love. If I am disdained by another, it is because the other is causing me discomfort. But I am realizing that we all have free will, and so I am going to simply redirect or change my area. I am going to load a new environment by moving my legs and changing my position on the plane. Not a aeroplane. I am a smooth flight. I land at my destination perfectly. I am happy and content. And when I feel myself becoming sucked back into the winds of the storm, I simply turn around and walk away. I am an adult, and sometimes when things get too tight or hard, I should breathe once and then almost at my peak. Instead of exhaling, I should breathe again. Double breath. Plant my feet into the floor. I am not telling people to close their eyes at all times, but if one is able to safely close their eyes and just think for a moment, 1 second, 2 second, however many, and take that deep double breath and come to and realize whatever's going out here, that's their storm. But if I am at work or I am at adherence to oppressors, then I am going to do what's necessary for my life. I am not creating big groups of people to conform to attack their current systems. I am peace and mercy. I am forgiveness continually for who I am when I am doing it with purpose and edification, not to cause harm. I am an angel. I am a demon. I am who I am. And with my logical clarity and thought, I am going to think. I am thinking. And I am understanding, ruminating on the information that I see continually to help me update continually. I am not a slave. Just because I work at a job, when I say covet not against me to thine brethren, when I say don't covet against them, I am saying this for my health. I am running at a certain set of parameters. And when my consciousness goes outside of those parameters unnecessarily, because I am also the imagination. When I go outside of those parameters unnecessarily and begin to indulge too much in other men, I become those other people, but unaware what those people are truly thinking in the dark. Only I am good because only I am the one who knows what I am thinking. But I treat others the same until presented with danger or presented with something that could cause me harm. I only cause harm if I have to survive and or defend against pain and destruction. I am not the terms of agreements that have been beset upon me, indulging in books, curses, and ideologies. I am an innocent being whose mind was taken to and fro when I was not given the clarity to have free will because I was under the wings of another. But once I am grown, I leave my parents' house and then I find my way. But I am who I am. And so if I am grown and do not leave my parents' house, that is simply for me and my journey. And I need not accused by other people for vain things. I am who I am, but humble. Like a servant in the sense that I am not unruly. I am not the king on a throne or a queen who is quick to behead, cut, or destroy somebody else because of how I feel. I simply ruminate and think as much as possible on the current bread I was given. Bread may be a metaphor for anything around us. Oftentimes, you all will see me saying, oftentimes in videos, I say, I ate that shit. That's not a metaphor of me eating poop. That's a metaphor of me saying the stuff that was presented to me was like shit, disgusting, dirty, and nasty, and the sense of it pained me. And I ate it in the sense that I cleaned it all up. And now it's spotless, like a plate. You see how all those different metaphors come together to simply say, when the world comes against me, I may become in detriment, but then I lean to my angels, Carl, Dan, John, Mom, Dad, my girlfriend Shannon, Ashley, Chris, whoever, friends, family, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? All shout outs, because that's family. I don't do things alone. I don't build cities alone. I am not in a single player RPG. I am in a universe. And in this universe, I simply, no matter what, try to be the best version of me that I can be while being consciously aware. There are times I need to give peace and love and mercy, and there are times that I need to give utter destruction. But without guidance, that could become destructive in civilization, when we all need to lean on each other like a building full of bricks so that we don't fall. I am happy to see others. But if I am not, then it is not time for me to indulge in what they are doing. And so it may upset me when they approach me or I see them, but I may simply come to, take three, and with the foreshadowing of what I can probably predict, I should not go with the first thing I was going to say, because no matter how I feel and how powerful it feels, who I am doesn't know what you're going through. So I am the one that just got trauma dumped for no reason. But I'm just, when now I'm going to give an example. A person is watching a movie. You're watching me. And all this time you've been watching me for however long. All this time I have been watched by viewers for all this time. And now somebody is watching my viewer directly. So my viewer is watching me and seeing what I'm doing, but now somebody's watching them view me. There may be certain things that the viewer does unaware because they're not watching themselves, in real time. I am watching what I'm viewing. And so then oftentimes I am not aware of certain things. But at the same time, it is not people's job to tell me who I have to be. Unless they're a king or queen. What I was talking about, remember kings and queens? Right. So, essentially, practically, it would be efficient for who I am to use the best of my survival instincts. Because I just watched a man who, after hundreds of years of slavery, racism, history, and blah, 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 already in a foul system where men hurt women continually chase a woman with a gun planted in his face, and she gave him continual warnings. Please stop chasing me. Please stop chasing me. Everybody's saying she should have just ran away. The reason he was doing that is because, from the best of my ability, from what I can conjure, and I heard another person say this first on YouTube, he was an Army veteran. He wanted to get close enough to her, based on what I perceive, to try to disarm her like this is some kind of GTA 5 or 6. And then he was going to cause extreme bodily harm to her, and thought he was going to be on Fox News like, yeah, I disarmed another black girl and I'm shooting shootings. And it didn't turn out that way. And from another's perspective, it looked like he was chasing a fucking woman in a parking lot. Not only that, an African-American woman. But we all have perspectives. And a lot of us have been putting the media into this instead of letting who I am think for a moment. I know it's hard in this generation when people hear me say I am who I am and I am the Most High. And when people read that book, they should say who I am whenever they see God's name. And who I am not when they say Satan. Because even though we have a good and a dark side, if this was pure fucking nature, cool, go with the pure balance, do blah, 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 blah. But we're not. We're civilized. And we're leaning more towards the good. But what is good? We're still talking from human perspective. We chop trees down and enslave each other and blow stuff up. So, you know what I mean, man? Sometimes you just gotta get her done. Sometimes I just gotta get her done. And I am none of those things before that I labeled myself with in unawareness. I am sorry for everything I've ever said and done. And I am a peaceful person and would like to be guided continually. I will have no gods before who I am. No idols. I will not bow to them or worship them. Not in the heavens, of the earth, or in the deep seas. Lead who I am. Don't take who I am in vain. And once I get those instructions, my automatic nervous system can go from there. Anybody who teaches non-duality is fucking insane. But I'm going to show you why. Watch out! I don't know if you jumped or not. Watch out! If that didn't, there's some videos that will. Your consciousness didn't just jump. Ha! Oh, you get... okay. Your consciousness didn't just jump. Your automatic nervous system did. The robot in you. Your AI. There's two. I don't care how you want to put it. There's my conscious mind, and then there's the automatic nervous system, the brain, whatever. Your teaching non-duality will drive somebody insane. Because your body's going to have automatic movement. And when the consciousness is like, oh, I don't know what they want. I don't. So, also, when you have a dream, the consciousness is running around in the dream, right? Who's perpetuating the dream or creating the dream? That's all I'm saying. Hold on, give me one moment. God damn. Fucking lighter. Son of a bitch. I mean, you don't gotta be insane. You are extremely wrong. Based on my logical, I don't need no other body's teachings. I have an automatic nervous system and a consciousness. Going there for surgeries and go sleep, no time went by. Why is that? There's two, buddy. So you just gotta. I am understanding, and I am learning continually. I'm not. Oh, this is this or that or that. This. Gawk, gawk, gawk. Why? When I am going to continually learn. This language may not even be used in 200 years. You ever read? Have I ever read Old English? Can I understand it? Can I read William Tyndale's version of the Bible? Can I read John Wycliffe's version of the Bible? All the people saying the Romans and Europeans and the Grecians, those are different countries. You're just putting Europe on the whole thing and slapping a whole race thing together like Europe white. No. It was the Greeks was whooping the shit out the Romans and everybody else until no, they basically was friends with Egypt. They mixed together. Then the Romans, right, got their little vengeance and enslaved all of Europe for a long time. Long time. Then once the Germans and the Friesens, Germans, Jutes, they then enslaved the Irish. Jews. Now everybody's mixed, and they're talking about their faction, but they're all the factions. Y'all humans, they have had migration periods where first went out, boom, they was right. The Africans from they went up north and went to the east. Yeah, Asian, and we call them Asian Europeans. Then there was migrations back and forth. You would have Asiatic people in Canaan and all that, and Africans in Africa still. I see people now saying Moses never existed. Okay, I'm not gonna get into all that. Moses. Look him up in history. He was the Pharaoh. They totally split the story in half. And yeah, all that. They was fighting the Hyksos and all that, and back and forth, Asiatic invaders. But whatever, I'm just going off like those people's. I don't read hieroglyphs. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Based on what I could tell, they was warring because they're warring now. So I could believe it. But all I'm here to tell you is it do matter what happened in the past, but it don't in the sense of like if we have to go back 2,000 years, Muhammad was from 7, that's like 1,300 years ago. Y'all can't produce nothing in 2,000 to 1,300. Don't even get me started on the Torah. That's 3,500 years ago. You got 3,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 1,300 years ago. Y'all have not produced a single fucking Messiah since then. Do you know why? Because they're gonna fucking stone you to death. Google was telling me about I think I said in a video a while back that Google told me I should get a community, and when I told Google research Africa American history communities, and Google was like, damn, look at the list, and it showed me shit I didn't even know about, some more. So I researched them and they were true, but the thing is, a lot of times when I be like, they tie women up to trees and cut their back, so people be like, But the thing is, Google was telling me about hella real stories of that. Because, you hear folklore, and I was reading the stories, and I was like, nigga, this is all on there. They do not care. There's written history. We speak English. Not Old English. We spoke English here. So they have records of everything. But the reason I brought that up is because Google also reminded me of what J. Edgar Hoover did. I guess it was to stop the Black Messiah movement. What the fuck? Most of y'all are atheists, but y'all gotta stop the Black Messiah movement? What is happening? And then they talking about America was founded on Christianity. No, it wasn't. The fuck are y'all talking about? Then the citizens became Christian, but the forefathers left England. And then England y'all didn't beat England. England is a fucking empire. Y'all thought John and Dan be so fucking right. Carl too. That's why I call them the wise men, bro. Cause I be knowing and I be researching, but Like what they're doing is a lot of times they're doing it in terms of the oral law. They're like telling me great stories. They're not great stories. This is truth, but then I go research it and find out the story they talking about, and it'd be like, man, how is it that I'm not nobody college, nobody? I'm just a CNA wiping ass at night. I'm I'm a Batman. I'm the real Batman. Cleaning up Gotham at night, and in the day, a regular human bitching like Kent Clark. Oh god, I'm such a fucking shooby dude. The fucked up part is I basically am the internet. When I was born, when I got a little older, AOL. We had the little discs and shit. They sent them in the mail. We was online all the time. Get off that damn AOL. I gotta make a call. Remember them days? Snap it. So then I finally get on. My mama got me a little room. At first it was Yahoo Pool and shit. Random games. 3D tanks and shit. I lived on the internet as a kid growing up. I could not be on the internet. Then I went out to the world in the sense of like I started hanging out with friends and getting older. Because when I was younger, I had Tourette's and tics bad. I would like make some weird noise. I was like, so I'm just being honest. I used to, and it was menacing because another part of me, I used to. They always talk about how the blacks couldn't drink at the water fountains or use bathrooms. Us, oh, the blacks. It sounds so. If I make something up, they gon'. Anyways, so when I was younger, I used to make like these noises. I used to make some. I just sounded like Yoda. The dark side you're joining. No, but in Mormonism, when you're black, it's a sin. You were resurrected as black. This is one of the most major religions in America. The Mormon Church. So, they create villains, and then their little superhero institutions, police and all that, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, get those jokers. But, yeah, man. So, when I was growing up, the school I went to, nobody would drink after me at the water fountain. Give me like 5 seconds. Nobody would drink after me at the water fountains, and nobody would use the bathroom after me. They were like panic, like, okay, so like, they'd be like, ah! You know, like in the horror movies when I'd be coming up to drink, they'd be like, ah! They run away from the fountain, they push each other over and off, start to fall over and run and stuff. That was for a while. And then once like junior high hit, it was a little different. I mean, I was still like, it was just different. A little bit cooler. I wouldn't say cooler, but just different. Playing RuneScape and shit. Then I got a little bit older, high school. And I remember this one time specifically, but it's a funny story. They was throwing this little aluminum foil thing and at this high school, especially at the lunch hour, it was all like split up now. So I like was sitting alone in the back tables, and they was throwing the paper back and forth, and it was like a wrapper, and then it came and hit me bonk in the head, like at the back table. So then I was like, I threw it back, and it hit this nigga who got the same initials as me. Funny as shit, star basketball player and shit. He stood up, walked, and this star basketball player. This dude was like 6 foot already. This before my growth spurt because I was freshman. I was short still. And he walked around the table. I'm 6'3" now. He walked around the table. He just stood there for a minute, and he flinched at me, and I jumped. Now keep in mind this freshman year in the whole fucking cafeteria here, and I knew it was coming, but he he flinched the first time and I jumped, and I knew I was just quiet. I was sitting there because what was I finna do? If I get up, he was finna start beating my ass. So then he just went boom, like pow, and that was another moment. I ate that shit, but I ain't gonna lie. He walked slowly back to his. It was like when Michael Myers chased the white woman. She would run this, she fall. So he sat down, and I started tearing up, but it didn't get the reaction that I thought it was. Now keep in mind, I'd made fun of all my life. Like people was making fun of me. I had a few random friends in the hood and shit, you know. But and then the black community is a little different. When they make fun of you in black, it's more like ribbing. Like it's not really like, oh, I'm a nah, it's not all. It was like fun. rated PG-13 mature fun. Because as I got older, it got way better. Started kicking it more. We was all smoking, drinking, kicking it. But when he did that, you heard like the whole cafeteria, and like a couple people kept coming up and sitting next to me, like wrapping their arms around me. And it's like, it's okay, you cool. And motherfuckers like started walking past him and shit. I was like, what the fuck? This Disney Channel movie and shit. I thought motherfuckers was finna start. Oh nigga, you got it. It didn't happen like that. So then, funny story is, years later, we was like 18, 19, grown now, and I had a whip, and we was in traffic. Now this is a little different. Now I'm like 6'3", me and dude about the same size. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kicking it with. My life totally flopped. My dad kicked me out when I was like 18, high road, and I went to the streets, kicking it, doing all kind of crazy shit. So, you know what I'm saying? The weed mellowed me out too. So me and him, him and another buddy, we all went to the skating rink all the way in Peoria, and we were skating and kicking it. We was chilling, had a good time, and you know I seen him at a couple parties and shit after that. Shook up and shit. But the reason why I say that is that's why I don't go full renegade. I hate this, I hate that, and these people are the devil. Sometimes when I get real mad and motherfuckers are doing some extra shit, it comes to my mind on the inside. But then slowly over time, it's like, nah, nigga. People tell me chill out. They're like, Juan, that's not you. That's not you. But I am who I am, and sometimes I need guidance to be shown a better way. And that's simply why I make these vlogs and let y'all see who I am certain times. A lot of stuff got corrected. My daily pay started working. I paid my bank back. They let me pull out a small little loan. I paid off the people I owed. Finna pay my girl in a couple of days with the mortgage and extra what I owe her. And everything working out. So I was patient. I crashed out a little bit when I was alone. I canceled. I just did it on camera. And everything cool. So peace out and have a good day.